Here's a thought that crosses your mind every time you're ready to start putting energy into your business. I feel uncomfortable self-promoting myself. Like every time you're ready to start, self-promotion for some reason pops up inside of your thoughts, which then causes a lack of confidence. And it's interesting because you've already accomplished so many things in your purpose. You've already put the spotlight on others. You've already set yourself out to have these goals, but for some reason, your goals have always just been dependent upon you lifting others up. And now that it's time for you to move out of the space of helping others and lean into the space of helping yourself, it immediately puts you inside of a space where you have like analysis paralysis. And now you don't act. And while on an everyday basis, you may still feel busy, right? You're still doing the things. What is really happening is we're digging a hole deeper for ourselves to just sit in a level of comfortability when we know we truly want to create and grow our dream business. You want to show up camera confident, even the more. You want to be that super confident woman with the super confident business brand, but the lack of confidence puts you inside of the space where you're trying to really figure out how can I give more while not pouring more out of my cup. Wow, let's dive in deep here, right? Because authentic confidence means when you do show up, you know that even though the feelings on the surface level may not reflect ideally how you would like to feel that day, your actions still allow you to say that you're proud of yourself, right? So let's really talk about what this looks like in real life for you. So you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, today is going to be the day where I'm going to talk more about my story. Today is going to be the day where I feel empowered enough to share what it is that I have going on inside of my mind, my thought process, my new energy. Because as women leaders, you're always evolving, right? Our body goes through cycles. So you're always going through these new spaces and times and elevation periods within. But what truly creates and grows authentic confidence within yourself is when you're able to be aware enough of the actions that make you feel less confident, right? So I'll share with you that as I have been hosting more events in Port Wentworth, Georgia, as I have been creating more opportunities within the Business Confidence Academy, I have been finding that the everyday actions that you have to take as a business owner, they can fall short sometimes within when you don't feel like taking action inside of your business. See, it's easy again when you become like an employee, and even you can be the director, you can be um the chairwoman, you can be the councilwoman, you can be the senior manager of the department. We're not talking about that level of showing up. We're talking about you showing up even the more in your purpose, where you're leading with who you help and how you help them, and leading with your why, right? You know that you want to do more of that, but for some reason, that lack of confidence comes in on an everyday basis, right when we're supposed to take that small action. So I think, and I know that if we can get back inside of a space, right, where you remember that you can promote yourself more by number one, changing your mindset to know and to remember that you have the ability to change you. You have the ability to take a new action. And I say that because I'm recognizing that even within my own self every day, right? Seeing what is the small things that I need to change. What are the foods that I know I don't need to eat, but I keep eating them, right? Still trying to get off of the chicken, right? It's the chicken. I gotta get off of it. I just love it so much, right? If you got to this part of this podcast episode and you know that it's some foods that you have to let go so that way you look and feel and vibrate at a higher vibrational frequency, put chicken in the comment section, right? That confirms within me that you know that releasing is going to be the only way we see radical action inside of our lives. And I've learned from the opposite side of releasing for me is the energy of regret, right? And so every time I know there's something for me to release, a thought process, a food, an addiction, a person, a job, a business, anything that I know at some point needs to be released, the things that pop up on an everyday basis, those distractions, those obstacles, those physical manifestations of parts of yourself that need to be released, that is inevitably what's stopping your confidence. That's what's giving you the lack in confidence because you tell yourself internally, I tell myself internally, right? We tell ourselves internally that we're going to promote ourselves. We're going to show up more. We're going to shine more. Today is going to be the day where we're going to tell someone about our business, but to another level, diving in even deeper, again, leading with our why, understanding that the reason you have to self promote yourself is because that is going to be the only way that you can inspire others to promote themselves, to live out their dreams. Because inevitably, as creators and growers of our dream business, aren't we inside of a space where we are doing our business because we want to inspire others, we want to show others for whichever means that they can accomplish their goals as well, they can live out their dreams as well, they can monetize themselves, especially women to women, right? Business owner to business owner. Isn't that our goal, to inspire? Well, we want to inspire authentically, and we want to inspire not needing to push someone else to the light and let somebody else shine, and more so recognize that we are inside of a season where it's time for you to let your little light shine, right? To show up even more authentically confident, camera confident, leading with your why, right? So I empower you to grab your super confident woman workbook and dive right into chapter 1, right? Where I help you develop your I help statement. See, we oftentimes are able to lead with our I help when we're talking about our job or even the business that we created. We can talk about it from like a structural standpoint, right? A more masculine standpoint in reference to, I'll just make myself an example. I would say like a more masculine example is queenhood finance, where I help women thought leaders globally increase their personal and professional confidence in and outside of the workplace, right? You can see that can sound more masculine, but when we're really leading with our why, I talk about the reason why I help those same women increase their confidence personally and professionally in and outside of the workplace is because when I was inside of that space, when I was working in a corporate environment and I didn't understand that I had unique gifts, talents, and skills to cultivate within myself, I needed a queen to come and show me that I can rise up and be more confident. When I needed a mentor to let me know, girl, you're not the only one who's ever had your car repossessed. Plenty of people have had their car repossessed before, right? Plenty of people have had money struggles, right? When you go into entrepreneurship, you may not make all the money in the business all up front, or you may make all of that money in your business and not even know how to handle it, right? You may make a lot of money inside of your business and pour in time and energy into the business, but then you're like, wow, how can I be a better mom? How can I be a better wife? How can I be a better individual, right? So there's going to always be a why, the reason why you are creating and growing your dream business. When you recognize that that is what you're supposed to lead with, right? It will empower you on an everyday basis to start to promote yourself, right? To start to self promote because we want to hear your why. We want to hear more about you. Yes, we do, right? Because your story is unique and that's what's so beautiful. And no one can tell your story the way you can tell your story. That's why it's so important just for you to be you and again start to lead with the why because we love it. So again, grab your extraordinary business growth bundle. It is amazing as we listen to these podcast episodes. You want to start to work in your workbook because these are the developing stages for you to go from feeling that lack of confidence to you recognizing that self promotion is an example of you using your radical mind, the power of your radical mind to create and grow your dream business by showing up authentically confident as yourself. Until next time, Queens, I'll talk to you later.